What up? How's it going? Walt? Jesse? Fuck we gonna do now? Yo. testing, 1, 2. They make sure to show us how Gus gets down. And you saw me give Gus his props. How Gus gonna take this?
So, as you can see, there's this kind of flow going on here. It's a nice big living room, and this is the dining area.
Only 3 bedrooms? I think we're gonna need at least 5, don't you think?
5?
Yeah.
Do I look like I'm about to drop a litter?
No.
Ew.
We'll have 3 kids total eventually. I don't think this is gonna be enough. Why buy a starter house when we'll have to move out in a year or 2? Why be cautious? We've got nowhere to go but up.
Why be cautious? We've got nowhere to go but up. Interesting.
I'd like you to exit your vehicle and start walking toward us.
I'm gonna need some kind of assurance.
I assure you, I could kill you from way over here.
I was just about to say that. I was like, assurance. If they was gonna kill you, you'd been dead in the motherfucker already.
You know, I haven't slept since Thursday. I was out all night cleaning up after you. I need my sleep.
You said no half measures.
Yeah. Funny how words can be so open to interpretation.
Your medical condition, has it grown worse?
Not that I know of, no.
Is there a ringing in your ears? Are you seeing bright lights or hearing voices?
I'm quite well, thank you.
No. Clearly you are not. No rational person would do as you have done. Explain yourself.
My partner was about to get himself shot. I intervened.
Some worthless junkie. For him, you intervene and put us all at risk.
He was angry because those 2 dealers of yours had just murdered an 11-year-old boy.
I heard about it. He should have let me take care of them.
Maybe. Then again, maybe he thought it was you who gave the order.
Are you asking me if I ordered the murder of a child?
He has enough money to last forever. He knows he needs to keep moving. You'll never find him.
I don't know, Walt. It's what I do, after all.
Right? Like what?
Option A. You kill me right here and now.
What is option B?
I continue cooking. You and I both forget about Pinkman. We forget this ever happened. We consider this a lone hiccup in an otherwise long and fruitful business arrangement. I prefer option B.
You'd need a new assistant.
I could get right on that.
No.
This time I choose.
Yo, my man had almost admiration on his face.
Your car. Get it fixed.
Yeah.
He almost had that look like the balls on this one, huh?
It's good to see you.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
I'm glad that guy's back.
Shall we?
By all means, Gail. Let's cook.
Yeah, he don't fuck with Walt no more.
Okay, Junebug, these are for you.
What about the rest?
The rest are for me.
No, they're not. You're too old for balloons.
Oh, you're never too old for balloons.
What the hell? Why is he doing this though? Yeah, but why?
¿Qué es eso?
What's that?
Ooh! That motherfucker nice. He blinked them both in one shot like pink it. That Hollywood suppressor sound. Pew, pew. This is Yo, I love that.
Chow, you have anything you want to tell me?
I don't do nothing for them, ever. They try and make me. I say no.
Hey, lady, are you still there? Ask her if she's still there.
Pang, 你还在吗？
我得赶回家了，我有小孩子要照顾，我老公一定急死了。你钱付不够，我前面死了个男人耶。
She says yes.
Driving. She good behind the wheel. Licensed. Dependable.
She has a Camry.
Good.
That's dependable.
I strongly recommend that you return our calls next time. She's gonna need her shoe. They didn't exactly send their A players. But like you said, it's cartel, all right.
What about Pinkman?
I'm making inquiries.
Guess who's up to number 2 in the Breaking Bad rankings? Might be number 1 by the end of this motherfucking episode.
Does that guy ever leave? When exactly did that start?
That's new.
Because whatever my shortcomings last time, I intend for things to go perfectly from here on out. So, if there is...
Gail, you're great. Seriously.
Non ti lamentar, ma prova a cantar, nonno en questa canzone.
If push came to shove, I was wondering how soon you might be able to take over the lab yourself. You and an assistant. Has Walter ever talked to you about why he got into this particular line of work? Has he ever spoken to you about his health problems?
He's smooth.
He's dying of cancer.
How long does he have?
That is very much the question. But as he cannot or will not tell me how long that might be, I must prepare for the worst case scenario.
I'm thinking that if we had, say, 1 or 2 more cooks, 1 more.
I know that when the time comes, you will be ready.
Now, when I say I'm looking for Pinkman, we both know why, don't we?
There are rules to this lawyer thing.
Is that right?
Yeah, attorney-client privilege. I mean, that's a big one. Well, then you're going to be asking, old Saul gives him up pretty easy. What's to keep him from giving me up? You see? So then where's the trust?
I trust the hole in the desert I'd leave you in.
Yeah, that's an argument.
So?
If I was to tell you, well, I couldn't live with myself. I'm sorry. But who's to say I didn't write the address down in my day planner?
William Trailer Court, Virginia.
You're wasting your time. I'm buying the car wash. End of story.
Well, one look at this place, you're gonna fall in love. Where else are you gonna find a cash-only business that's this much fun? Unless we're talking massage parlors, and I don't see it.
The fact that Saul's pushing it this much means he has something in it. You know.
Snack bars over there. Nothing stopping you from selling beer to the parents. That's a whole new revenue stream.
All right, already. We're good.
Holy Christ. We're good? This constitutes good where you're from? My car is bugged?
I said maybe.
I'm being followed? What the hell have you gotten me into? You're my very own PI threatening to break my legs. That's like Thomas Magnum threatening that little prissy guy. Service-wise, this is over and above. You and I survived this? Oh, I'm seriously rethinking my pricing, yeah. That goes double for you, hip-hop.
I got my old job back. At least until they kill me and Gail takes over. Now, he asks a lot of questions about the cooking process. I try to be as vague as possible, but I got that guy Victor watching me, listening to every word I say.
So what do we do?
You know what we do.
I know they're not talking about going after them.
Federal witness protection, that's a good deal. As for me, I'll hit the road, I mean, I'll make it.
Never the DEA. Production cannot stop. Gus can afford to. So if I'm the only chemist that he's got, then I've got leverage. And leverage keeps me alive. It keeps you alive.
They
too.
gonna blick Gail. They about to blick Gail? That man just water his plants. He go mountain climbing.
Do it, Mr. White. Like you said, I'm not I can't do it.
If I could just shake Victor for even an hour one night, I think then that I may be able to make it look like an accident. But when it comes down to you and me versus him, I'm sorry, but it's gonna be him. But I need you to track him. Get me his address, and I'll do the rest. Look, I saved your life. Jesse, are you gonna save mine?
Oh, shit.
Don't do this, Mr. White. Please. Go to the cops.
We got a problem. Some kind of chemical leaking in your lab.
I'll follow you.
They tell me to bring you. I bring you.
Yo.
I don't know if it's a barrel leak or what, but you got something mighty stinky down there. After you. Walter, the sooner you figure out what this is, the sooner we all go home.
Please don't do this. Mike, you don't have to do this.
Yeah, unfortunately I do, Walter.
Okay, if I could just talk to Gus.
No.
I know I can make him understand. Please, if I
No.
can talk to Gus,
Walter.
I can convince him, okay? Just let me, please let me talk to him.
Shut up!
I'll give you Jesse Pinkman. Okay? Like you said, he's the problem. He's always been the problem. And without him, we would... And he's in town, all right? What do you say?
Where is he? Right now, you give me an address.
I don't know. He moves around, but if you let me call him... No, please. It's gonna have to be you.
What? No way, man.
Listen to me. You're closer than we are. You'll have about a 20-minute lead. They've got me at the laundry and they're going to kill me. Jesse, do it now! Do it, bitch! Do it fast! Do it, Jesse! Do it!
Just what the hell was that? Exactly.
You might want to hold off.
Yeah? Why?
Because your boss is gonna need me. 6353 Juan Tabo, apartment 6. Yeah.
Yo.
I have money. I got a lot of money. I have, please, don't do this. You don't have to do this.
That scene fucked with me more than any scene on the show so far. First, let me start by saying don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And have a Patreon with full-length early reactions to things like this. Check it out. Hey, probably more than any episode I've watched so far, this one I talked the least. And at the end, I was trying to figure out, yo, why wasn't I talking that much? Because the stakes were so high and they kept being turned on their head. So, right, let's start at the beginning. At the beginning, we see Walt, after what just happened, he's sitting there. Okay? We see, once again, the new windshield cracked. He gets a call from Mike. Mike is like, hey, walk over to the car. He's like, will I be assured nothing will happen? He's like, dog, you'd have been dead. Like, he's like, I can assure you that you'd be dead if I wanted you to. Okay. When we're sitting there, you dead into it because the stakes are like, yo, how is this going to work out? Right? I understand, like, obviously, Walt's not going to get killed. Not sure about Pinkman, though. Not sure how this is going to go. What I like about Mike is Mike works for who he works for. But the thing is, he's so aware of everything that's going on and he can respect it. So when he sees Walt say what he says, you're gonna need me to do that cooking. All I know is he's 2 time zones away, right? By the end of it, Mike is sitting there with, it's not even admiration. Like I said, it's like, look at the balls on this guy. Like, it's almost like, okay. It was like a respect thing. Like, all right, I see you, right? And I saw that. I'm like, hey, that's dope. I like the Mike character because Mike, he's not an evildoer. Yeah, he a killer and all that, but he not no evildoer, right? So, for instance, he has talked about his granddaughter before. You see his granddaughter, you see how good he is with it, drops her off, gave her the balloons. He still got balloons in there. I'm like, what's he doing? First off, that scene was dope because you're trying to figure out what he's doing. Then he goes up underneath the power line and it goes up. And I'm like, okay, I get that. Like, as they're floating up, I'm like, I get that, but what's he doing now? That whole sequence is dope. We go from seeing him with the granddaughter, see balloons go up, take out the electricity, and then two dudes are speaking Spanish. So immediately, cartel, okay? But I didn't understand where they were at. I'm like, why am I seeing like Asian dude? Okay, guy who's part of his network. That's where they get their chemicals from. It's very sort of samurai film. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like on Kurosawa, where it's like this, it's build up, and then it's like quick, fast. You know what I mean? Whereas on this one, when he shoots them dudes, you're like, oh shit, right? And then the thing where he throws the shoe, guy runs out, shoots, bow, okay. Then the best part, probably of the whole episode that was like funny to me, was the thing where the guy going like this to have him adjust where he's pointing his weapon. I'm like, hey, that's dope. So we see how Mike is. Mike is a G, he a killer. And the line he says to Gus, where Gus is like, the cartel's probing for weakness, and he's like, well, they didn't find it. You know what I mean? Like, he know what's up. And they didn't make it like some big bang shootout, but it was like, you understand the seriousness of this. Same thing with how Gus handled the cartel on the other side of the border. You understand the seriousness of this. The reason I'm talking about all this is because we saw the stakes at first. Now they show who Mike is. It puts you in that state of, yo, they cannot mess up. They cannot make no mistake. But by the time we get, of course, we knew Gail was coming back. But by the time we get to Gus arriving at Gail's house, you're like, oh, this was never, you know what I mean? I know early on I said, like very early on, I go, man, they just trying to get Gail to learn so they could get Walt out of here. That was what my thinking was. But no, I guess that was not what they were doing. They really got him the best guy they thought for him, right? Okay, boom. And like we figured that out back then, and he brings in Pinkman and all this. But now it comes to when I see Gus go in there, Gus played it smooth. He brings up the cancer as the reason why he might not be around. And I'm like, oh, his life's on the line. Okay, so Mike, when he goes and he sees Saul, I don't know how much of a scumbag he is. Like, I can't really make it out. But what he did for them in this episode, I respect. Like, he gave him a bullshit address and all that. And my man, his shit was bugged. They following him. So they in his office, you know, threatening to murk him and hurt him. And he still, I'm like, so y'all see me, I'm watching and I'm like, yo, he brought Walt to the arcade. Why is he still trying to get it to him? Maybe it's the Danny thing. And when Walt goes, okay, we're good, it hits me. Oh, they're talking about what the situation is. Now, once again, there were parts where I was about to interject and then I got to listen. I got to pay attention to this. And when they start talking about how are they going to handle this, Walt and Jesse, and he basically goes, you know what we have to do? And I'm like, you know what he has to do? They can't be talking about going at Gus and Mike, right? Like that's like, I'm like, oh, but in my mind, I'm still sitting there like, they not going after them, right? But then Walt makes it plain. I'm the only one that's this good. And he's been saying, I've been holding back all the questions that Gail's been asking and all that. I've been holding back, but the guys around, you know. And then But he says that at the beginning of the conversation. So by the time we get to the part where he says, you know what we have to do, didn't hit me tell Gail that it was going to be Gail until he goes, hey, I'm the only one who could do this if we get rid of him. And I'm like, oh. And to see Jesse begging Walt, don't do it. Go to the police. He's like, I know it sounds crazy. Walt's like, nah, not the DEA. Okay. This whole situation, this is what I mean about the show for me right now as it is. I know people felt a certain way about Jane. I know people felt a certain way about Walt going forward or Jesse and how he's influenced. I gotta be honest, I don't give a fuck. I love this story right now because remember how I was like, yo, the characters, I fuck with them characters heavy. And to see the way this episode played out was so good to me. It was so good because the whole thing of Walt's like, I'll do it. Okay? Now, he had turned a corner with the whole Jane thing and, right? Because before, at least in Jesse's eyes, okay, he's killed some gangsters and shit, right? Multiple times. But he's like, not this dude. So Jesse don't want that. Walt's like, I'll do it. And then the guy comes and picks him up. And we already know we don't watch enough movies. We don't watch The Godfather and Goodfellas. And we know you get taken for that ride. You know where you're going. All right? So, speaking of that, I will be watching The Sopranos. In fact, that may be the next series I end up watching. But the situation ratchets up. Because I'm like, damn, I'm thinking the thing is going to be as I'm watching it, Walt is going to kill this man. And that's going to be what I'm watching going forward. And they just, no, hey, we going to go kill you. Right? Like, they don't say it like that, but they take him. But we know as fans, because we know the seriousness of this. So he goes and Walt freaks out. He starts acting bitch made. But as I'm watching it, you'll see me, because I was like, no. Because I know he's not giving up, Jesse. Nah. It's too far in. Look what he did for him that last episode. And their bond is such now, Walt straight up said, yo, I saved your life. I need you to save mine. So get that address for me. And it's like, so I knew he wasn't giving Jesse up. He picks up the phone. And this is what I like about this show is you don't have to jump the shark if you show humans as they are and you show them in all their humanity. We saw how Walt is. We saw how he deals in situations. As I said, he'll turn it up. And when he gets on that phone, he lets them know, hey, they got me here. Go kill him. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And it still didn't hit Mike. It still didn't hit him till he tells him that address. He's like, oh, shit. He's calling the phone. Go get him. And Jesse is there. And Jesse don't want to do this. I know Jesse said to himself, yo, I'm the bad guy. Like, yeah, they're in the situation they are in. So they're on that scumbag time. Excuse me. But Jesse is, he not trying to fucking do nothing, no hellified shit like this. And I know how some people feel. Walt wants to be alive. Back then, he wasn't too much worried about life. He just assumed he was out of here. And they showed. You see the house? And the world was in front of Walt. Walt thought he was going to be making big money. He had that terrible leather jacket, them horrible jeans with some shoes on. He had that hairdo. Skylar had that hair. And the world was in front of him. Man, fuck this house. We can get a bigger house. Because things are going good over at the plant. And you see where life ends up. And it's almost like, it's not just that he thought he was going to die. There was moments where he wished he would die. And he finally got to a point where he got his son, he got his daughter. You see, like, when we first see the house is empty, and now you see everybody there. Yeah, look, they went through the hellified situation. She smashed Beneke and came and told him about. You know how I feel about that. Y'all know how we feel about that. But you got Walt Jr., who made it to that age, and yo, he killing it. You got the young daughter. He do not want to die. He does not want to leave the earth now. But the thing is, the job he has will bring you to that brink so many times. So many fucking times. And to see where it is now, where he, like, not just from the beginning of the show, where they started as a family to where it is now, how they got there, yeah, it's fucked up. But he thought he was going to die. He did the thing with the money and think about everything that happens, but family. Like, yeah, think about everything that happened. But by the end of the day, when we see him holding that baby and he don't want to leave that. I want to say this about the guy. Hold on. I want to see how you spell Gale. Hold on. When we see him, my man is cultured than a motherfucker. We see telescope, all forms of plants, the type of music he's listening to. You know the words to it's a different language. Books everywhere. He got his Mac. He's a learned man. But he a libertarian, so he doing what he doing. But the moment you see him, like, dog, he probably shouldn't be around this. But the thing is, I know Gus approached Gale same way he approached Walt. Like, look, I'm a businessman, and I see something in you that, you know, he came in here with the spinach and got him to work. But anybody who works in that line of work or in that, because it's a black market, your life is on the line. There's no fairy tale about this shit. And that's the most fucked up thing. Is like, damn, I'm sitting there looking at this situation like, fuck, man. Like, Walt wants to live, and I don't want this dude to die. But of course, that's the life he's in. That things like that will happen. Damn. It's a good episode. I think that was the last episode of the season. Hey, man. Next episode, next season.